Okay, sure. To be honest, I don't think I've ever planned to move into STEM. I've always been interested in marketing. So I'm a marketing major from NUS Business School. And when I graduated, I joined the finance house. But at that point, I think the finance industry is quite different. They are the king. Customers walk in and ask us, apply for loans and put the money with us. We don't really have to do much marketing. It's very unlike now where you see banks having relationship managers reaching out to businesses, etc., to create new customers. So I guess I was a bit disappointed that life was too smooth and too comfortable when I was in the finance house, and then I have the opportunity to join the pharma industry. So that's my introduction to science. Okay, it was pretty challenging. I mean, not even knowing what is placebo, at that point of time. But I found that it's very interesting because whilst it's tough to learn everything from scratch, but the world of science is such that there's never a dull moment. You are always learning something new. There always be interesting discovery, and I think that is what piqued my interest. So after almost 2 decades with the pharma, that's where I've decided that, yeah, I want to move from the world of big into the world of small. So I joined a VC and discovered that there is such thing called a startup ecosystem. And given my background and as a drug peddler, I decided to continue contributing to the startup ecosystem as an advisor, commercial strategies, and have started a couple of startups, KosmodeHealth being one of it, and yes, enjoy it enough to continue. So I think this should also be the journey for most people. Sometimes we think we're interested in one particular area and you try very hard towards it, right? But things just stumble into place, right? We never know what we discover along the way and how our passions would change along the way.
So when I joined Siege, it was actually a very young startup. It was at about 6 months old. So when I first entered, the first thing I did was to come up with a structure to track all the 3D prints that go through our printers. Because usually we deal with thousands of prints per month, so it'll be very disorganized and very messy. We can't track them if there's no structure at the back. Yeah. And also for last year, I came up with the idea for the face shield and ear saver donations. So that was during the COVID time. And after that, I facilitated all the donations thereafter. Yeah, but on a day-to-day basis, I usually bridge the technical gap between us and the consumers, because sometimes consumers, they don't understand how 3D printing works exactly. So that's what I do.
Yep, I think this is an interesting question. It's also a difficult one because I don't have many secrets. Having said that, I guess one common misconception or perceptions from people is that folks in STEM has to be scientists, engineers, at least have a science degree. So many people are actually quite surprised when they hear that I'm don't have any of this, and in fact I'm just an NUS Business School graduate. But I'm not sure if it is an unknown fact. I think now most people know that I am an NUS Business School alumni. But what most people do not know is the fact that I don't have any science training at all. In fact, I failed my biology in O level. So I'm not proud of it, but I guess the lessons here, which I like to maybe say to people who wants to join STEM but do not have the science training, is that don't be limited by your academic training or your past failure. if you truly believe and have the passion for STEM, then just go for it. Work hard, press on with your heart, soul, and mind. Anyway, you have never tried, you never know. So just try it.
If you are interested in a career in STEM, you should just go for it, because there's actually a lot of opportunities and resources available for you online. And there's also a lot of people who are very willing to help. So if there's something that you don't know, don't be afraid to ask and just voice out. And also there's a lot of opportunities out there. For example, I think recently when I graduated back in 2016, the public sector actually increased the pay for engineers, for public sector engineers. So that's something to look forward to. And also in Singapore, there's, you can actually get penalized for unfair hiring practices, such as if an employer is discriminatory towards gender hiring. So that's something that kind of protects us as well. So I think ultimately it's more important to hone your skills, to make your abilities and skills better, so that you can provide good solutions and good ideas to bring to the table. And I think from there, everything else will come naturally.